Hi everyone, this is Shilp here, and I'm going to talk about a new feature that we are introducing in 8.5 release, in which the user has an option to select the JRE for a tuner. Prior to 8.5 release, tuners always used JRE that was bundled with tuner. End users didn't have any flexibility to use the latest JRE that is available. This led to security vulnerability. With 8.5 release, users can now use the JRE that can be used with the tuner. The user has two options. User can use the JRE that is installed on the machine, or user can use the JRE that is bundled with the tuner. Tuner can fall back to bundled JRE if there is no JRE installed on the machine, or if the JRE installed on the machine is not found. So we have also introduced a fallback mechanism. And this gives more flexibility to the end user in terms of the JRE that is being used. Also remember that this feature is available only for Windows platform. It is not available for non-Windows platform. This feature can be enabled by setting a property, and that is marimba.tuner.installJRE. The value of this property can be true or false. If the above property is set to true, tuner uses the JRE which is installed on the machine. And if the property is set to false, tuner uses the JRE which is bundled with the tuner. By default, the value of this property is set to false. That means tuner uses the JRE that is bundled with the tuner. This property can be set either to profile or policy. The minimum JRE version that is required for this feature to work is 1.7 or above. When this property, that is marimba.tuner.use.installJRE, is set to true, and tuner uses the JRE that is installed on the machine, there are certain set of messages that get printed in launch.log. It gives info such as tuner is using JRE installed on the machine, and it also gives the location of the JRE that is being used. And when this property is set to false, again there are certain set of messages that get printed in launch.log, and these messages are tuner using JRE bundled with tuner and the location of JRE. There are different ways to confirm the JRE version that is being used. One is through tuner icon, it's from about option. Another is from tuner admin page, and the third is from ISM tab, where the Java VM version attribute gives the JRE version that is being used. As I mentioned earlier, we have a fallback mechanism where tuner falls back to the JRE that is bundled with the tuner in case tuner is not able to find the appropriate JRE on the machine. So this can happen in cases where a user has opted to use the JRE that is installed on the machine, but the machine has a JRE version which is lower than the supported version, or the machine doesn't have any JRE installed, or the tuner is unable to locate the JRE, or the JRE architecture is incorrect. What this means is, suppose on a 64-bit machine, there is a 32-bit tuner running with 8.3 or 8.301 version. Now, if the tuner is upgraded to 8.5 version and end user has selected to use the JRE which is installed on the machine, but the JRE doesn't have a 32-bit JRE installed on the machine, so the tuner will fall back to the bundle JRE. the right architecture is not present on the machine. So there are certain limitations that if a tuner is using the JRE that is installed on the machine, it will not be able to update or patch the same JRE. So the workaround for this is a user should disable this feature using policy so that tuner falls back to the bundled JRE and then the JRE patches can be applied. So I'll be jumping onto a short demo where I'll be showing how the tuner toggles between machine JRE as well as the bundle JRE. So as you can see here, the value of this property marimba.tuner.use.install JRE is set to true, and the tuner is using the JRE that is installed on the machine. The current JRE version on this machine is 1.7.0567, which the tuner is using. If you see in the launch.log, it says that the tuner is using the JRE that is installed on the machine, and it is also giving the JRE location. And in the IFL tab also, it shows the JRE version as 1.7.0 and 67. I will now set this property to false, and we will see how the tuner falls back to the bundle JRE. So now the value of this property is set to false, and the tuner is using the JRE that is bundled with the tuner. You can see here the JRE version is 1.7.0, and we can also check the launch.log. It mentions that the tuner is using the JRE that is bundled with the tuner, and it is also giving the location of the JRE. In ISM tab also, you can see that the Java VM version attribute is showing 1.7.0. So that's all I have for this demo. Thank you.